My name is Miguel Morales, and from Rey Juan Carlos University in Madrid. And that time, I'm presenting our research entitled "The Importance of Relationship and Communication in Student Satisfaction at Rey Juan Carlos University." That paper had been co-authored with Professor Carmen De-Pablos and the Professor Mónica Santos-Cebrián and myself, right? In this study, we analyze how relational coordination, that is how we communicate and work together, basically, influence student satisfaction with their university experience. That is important nowadays in the education market. First of all, if we are going to analyze student satisfaction, we must to understand why, right? And we understand that student satisfaction is widely recognized as a key performance indicator in higher education. Everybody that is here, probably you are teachers and go in your universities or your institutions, you got some surveys that the students filling in order to say if they got satisfaction with it. So it seems that it's something important in higher education. Basically for us, the student satisfaction, okay, reflects how well the university are doing in terms of teaching quality, administrative services, support, and program design. To understand what really drives satisfaction, it's essential if we want to improve the learning experience and design more student-centered institutions. It seems that is the main objective or that the countries get nowadays, right? To translate the education centers to the to more student-centered institutions. The problem, the lack of relationship and coordination between the agents. Okay, however, students often report problems that are not only academic, but related to coordination between different actors, different roles in the university. The poor relationship or communication with teachers, with administrative staff also, or even with the student representatives can directly damage the student experience. Our starting point is that a lack of coordination between these key agents is a central problem behind dissatisfaction. What is relational coordination? To address this issue, we can use the concept of relational coordination. That concept has developed by Professor Gittel, and she defines relational coordination as a mutual reinforcing process of communication and relationship that helps to integrate tasks and improve results. It combines frequent, timely, accurate, and problem-solving communication with shared goals, shared knowledge, and mutual respect between the agents, right? So we can see in that slide that so the relational coordination model, okay, how the relations that can include shared goals, mutual respect, are related with the communication. We can measure the frequency of the communication, if the communication is timely, appropriate, okay? So all that elements, okay, measure the relational coordination in an organization. And that model had been used, okay, in a lot of industries in order to check the efficiency in the organization. Because, of course, a good relational coordination is going to increase the results in the organization. Okay, and it's demonstrated in different industries, as for example, healthcare or services, banking, and now we are working with that question in the education industry. Okay, so the previous studies have shown that relational coordination is related to better outcomes in different sectors. As I have told before, health, financial services, and education. For example, in healthcare, there are some papers that that associates the relational coordination, a good relational coordination, with better patient outcomes and more engaged staff. So that's important in that industry, right? In banking, with job satisfaction, high performance work systems. In higher education, the model of relational coordination has been used to explain quality in online learning, sustainability, and governance. What is still missing is a clear picture of which specific relationship matter most for students' satisfaction. And that's the first theme of our paper in order to serve for that to figure out that relationship, right? Our main objective is therefore to identify which relationship impact the student satisfaction the most. We have been analyzing the relationship the students with teachers, administrative staff, the fellows, and the student representatives. Okay, in order to identify where are the higher contributions to the increase in the satisfaction. So if we discover, okay, and compare that relationship, we are going to be able to prioritize where universities should be at first, okay, and in order to improve the satisfaction. Okay, so that's our target. The methodology. We carry out a stratified random sample of around 600 students at Rey Juan Carlos University during December 2024 and February 2025. We use an adaptive relational coordination questionnaire with 18 items to measure communication and relational ties with lecturers, peers, administrative staff, and student representatives. The students also answer items about their overall satisfaction and perceived quality of the university. From their response, we have built a satisfaction index, based in the satisfaction with the resources, teaching quality, learning, administrative attention, experience. And we check the validity of this index using a generalized linear model, following Vandalos and Fini approach to ensure that the index really reflects meaningful difference in satisfaction levels. As we got that general satisfaction indicator, okay, we have combined exploratory and confirmatory analysis, factorial exploratory and confirmatory analysis, factorial analysis, in order to check the relationship between the relational coordination and the satisfaction. Okay. First, we have used principal access factoring with Promax rotation to identify the underlying factors related to relational coordination. Based on the theory and previous studies, we retained 5 factors that represent different dimension of coordination and perceived quality improvement. From the exploratory analysis, the results of the exploratory analysis show that the most items have loadings above 0.4, so that indicates that it's a good association with their factors, right? The 5 factors we identified, it was interesting that the exploratory factorial analysis have organized the information around its agent, okay? First, the administrative staff, then, okay? So, okay, it seems that the relational coordination with administrative staff, or the relational coordination with lecturers, with a student representative, with peers, and another question that appears as important, the perceived quality improvement. There were some questions about what was the perceived improvement. It's not if they are satisfied or not, it is if the students perceive that something is improving, right? So, and that factor appears suddenly in the analysis as an important factor, okay? And surprisingly for us, okay, the factor 1, the administrative staff, okay, the relationship, the relational coordination with the administrative staff explain the largest share of variance. That means that small movements, small change in the administrative staff relationship can achieve big movements, big increase in the satisfaction. Okay, for us was a surprise because we suppose that the first factor was going to be the teachers, right? The relationship with the teachers. No, it's the administrative staff. Okay. The lecturers, of course, are in the second place. Okay, explain around the 10% of the variance, right? After that exploratory phase where we have found that factors, right? We have run a confirmatory analysis in order to identify the relationship of that relational coordination with each agent to the satisfaction, okay? And as findings, okay, we have found a model that is robust, okay? All the p-values are less than 0.001, so we got a good indicator, okay? And for example, the Cronbach alphas are values above 0.7, okay, for all factors. So, okay, we got good model, okay? That's That's the graphical model for the confirmatory analysis, the structural path diagram. Okay. And here are summarized the relationship between the satisfaction and the group of factors that we have found. Sorry, because it's impossible to include in a slide where you can read the numbers. It's just in order to solve co-art the relationship, right? We have tried in a lot of occasions to improve that and others graph for or structural path diagrams, but usually it's impossible to include in a in a slide, right? The important question is that the arrows shows how are the relationship, okay? And the model shows that all 5 dimensions are relevant, although some are clearly more influential than others, okay? So, in that sense, if we check factor by factor, if it works, according to the factor 1, is the relationship with the administrative staff. The first and most influential factor is relational coordination with administrative staff in our results, okay? So, it seems that when students experience efficient procedures, timely response, clear information, and accessible staff, their satisfaction improves significantly. That's important, okay, because it can show where are the fails in our organization, right? So that result highlights that support services and back office processes are not invisible for the students, okay? That processes strongly shape students' perception of quality. So probably is an area where we must. 2 minutes, right? So the second factor is the coordination with the student representative. Representatives play a mediating role, and it seems that good communication and mutual respect between students and their representatives also contributes positively to satisfaction and sense of voice in governments. But we have, in the results, we have checked that the contribution of the student representatives to the satisfaction of the student is very low, okay? The third factor is the relational coordination with the lecturers, okay? And here it seems that elements as mutual respect, set goals for learnings, timely feedback, and availability are crucial for the increasing the satisfaction of the students, okay? So it's clear when the teacher respond to the student necessities, they increase the satisfaction, right? Representatives, lecturers. The fourth factor captures the coordination among peers, the relational coordination with the colleagues. So peer relationships support group work, emotional well-being, and sense of belonging to the university community. Strong collaborative ties with colleagues, therefore, make an important contribution to student satisfaction and to persistence in their studies. And last but not least, the fifth factor is the perception of improvement, okay? It seems that the students are more satisfied when they see that the university is improving services, listening the feedback, and communicating change. This perception of continuous improvement reinforce trust in the institution and engagement with the educational process. The practical implication. These findings have several practical implications. First, universities should adopt simple but systematic measures to improve communication, clear information about procedures, more transparent channels for solving problems, and consistent follow-up of student requests. A small improvement in communication can produce large gains in relational coordination and satisfaction. So, they highlight the three key principles: availability, mutual respect, and shared knowledge, where availability means that the students know who to contact. Mutual respect helps to remove hierarchical barriers and promotes more open, constructive dialogue. And shared knowledge means understanding how the whole educational process works beyond one's own role. Together, these principles create a supportive and coordinated learning environment. The conclusion and next steps to conclude our study shows that relational coordination is a key driver of student satisfaction in higher education. We identify 5 critical factors: coordination with administrative staff, coordination with lecturers, with a student representative, with peers, and the perceived improvement quality as a key factor. These dimensions offer a practical roadmap for redesigned universities for the future, more student-centered, communicative, and relationally coordinated institutions. The future research should extend their analysis to other universities, because it's just for the Rey Juan Carlos University, to validate and generalize our findings.
Just few seconds from you need to conclude.
I conclude. It's just before say thank you, I need to say that this project is funded by the Rey Juan Carlos University Student Observatory, who had funded our research. And also, we are grateful to the Rey Juan Carlos University students that have participated in the survey and made this research possible. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you got any question, I will be happy to answer if I got the answer, of course.